Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. We're gonna start from verse number 11. Innama tunziru man ittaba az-zikra wa khashiya ar-rahmana bil ghaibi fabashshirhu bi maghfiratin wa ajrin karimin. Innama, so inna is harfu tawkidin wa nasbin. We have on page 18. So harufu nasbin, so these make the ism mansoob. So these particles change the ending of the noun from un or u to a. So and those called inna wa akhwatuha, inna and its sisters. So inna, anna, kanna, bi anna, laita, lakinna, lala. So inna is here. When inna comes with the jumla ismiya, we don't call it mubtada khabar, we call it ismu inna and khabru inna. So but there is an exception here. When ma is attached to inna, then we don't look for ismu inna or khabru inna, because this action becomes al kafa makfufa, which means that there is no ismu inna or khabru inna. So inna ma is means only. Tunziru, so in the last verse or in the last lesson we studied this form anzara yunziru, and that was changing to tunziru. So tunziru was changing to tunzir because of lam, and we went through that. So actually is tunziru, but and this was on page 119. So and tunziru is the verb form for anta. So fa'iluhu anta. And if we go to page 19, so you see here huwa yunziru, huma yunzirani, hum yunziruna, hiya tunziru, huma tunzirani, hunna yunzirna, anta tunziru, antuma tunzirani, antum tunziruna. So in the fail mudare, hiya and anta, they both have the same form, but the sentence will explain that if it's for anta or hiya, and we know that the address is to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is we will use anta here. So tunziru is the this is the verb used, and for majzoom is changes to tunzir, which I just showed you in the previous verse. So if I go back to the verse, so innama tunziru, you won, which is the fail mudare. This ya and ta shows this is the fail mudare, and fa'iluhu anta. Man is maf'ul bihi and is ism mawsul. I have some explanation on page 9. So what is ism mawsul, which is in English called relative pronoun? So relative pronouns relate to the nouns before or after them, and we see that in Arabic the following pronouns are used: allazi, allazani, allazina, allati, allatani, allai or allati. But here these are not used, rather man is used. So man and ma are also used as relative nouns, meaning who or whatever. Man is used for living things and ma is used for non-living things. So for humans, man is used. So we see that that man in that verse. Man is the one who. Of course, it's talking about some humans. So man who ittaba yattabiu, ittaba man ittaba yattabiu, this is form 8 and is fi'lu madin. So ittaba, let's go to form 8 on page 44. So form 8, this verb form is formed by prefixing letter alif and adding letter ta after the first radical of the root form fa'ala. So in actually there are two letters are added, this alif and ta. So fa'ala is the root. So fa'ala is just 3 letters, fa'ala, and then alif and ta is added. So here is the taba'a, and then alif and ta is added, so becomes ittaba. The ta is repeated, so you can use it with single ta and shadda, ittaba'a, and same yattabiu, but I have just shown it separate just for you to understand that what is ittaba, how this is formed. So ittaba'a yattabiu, form 8. In the amr, the verb gonna be ittabi, and masdar is ittiba'un, ism fa'il is muttabi'un, ism maf'ul is muttaba'un, and past passive tense is going to be uttabi'u, and the present is yuttaba'u. So this is the form 8. So if we go back, so ittaba'a yattabi'u, form 8. Fi'lu madin wa fa'iluhu huwa, and huwa, this is the comes for huwa. So he followed. Ittaba'a, to follow, he followed. Az-zikra, zikra is the reminder, means this is the word comes for alternate words that comes for Quran also. So az-zikra means the reminder, and this, when you see a verb and you see the noun after with rafa or nasab, if it is rafa then is a fa'il, if it is a nasab, if it has a nasab ending, then it is a maf'ul. It's called maf'ul bihi, and we see that it is mansub. So page 47 you will see the pronouns, maf'ul bihi mansub. So and khashiya wa khashiya, waw is harfu atfin, khashiya fi'lu madin and fa'il is huwa, so khashiya is actually huwa khashiya, and I have the that verb formation on page 126. So huwa khashiya fi'l madin, khashiya yaksha, so huwa khashiya, huma khashiya, hum khashaw, hiya khashiyat, huma khashiyata, hunna khashayna, anta khashayta, antuma khashaytuma, antum khashaytum, anti khashayti, antuma khashaytuma, antunna khashaytunna, ana khashaytu, nahnu khashayna. So the verb used is here khashiya, so which is used for huwa. Similarly for fi'l mudare, huwa yaksha, huma yakshayani, hum yakshuna, hiya taksha, huma takshayani, hunna yakshayna, anta taksha, antuma takshayani, antum takshuna, anti takshayna, antuma takshayani, antunna takshayna, ana aksha, nahnu naksha. So but there was no need to go in that detail, but just I showed you the whole table for khashiya and yaksha. So khashiya, huwa khashiya fi'l madin wa fa'iluhu huwa. Sorry, is khashiya here, same is the same as this one. In ar-rahmana, same for like zikra, because the doer, the file is inside the verb huwa khashiya, so it is not coming out. If the file comes out, it should have rafa, a dhamma sign, but there is no such word, so we use the verb that is inside that word, which is huwa, and if a file is outside, then it replaces the file then inside. So in this case is he feared ar-Rahmana, the most merciful. This is used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he feared the most merciful. So just think about it. If that na changes to nu, it becomes file, the Rahman feared, right? So how important is that? That is why we see all the Arab in the Quran, because just u'a will change the meaning and will make a grave mistake. So ar-Rahmana maf'ul bihi mansub, bil ghaibi. So bil ghaibi is jar, ba is harfu jar, and al ghaibi is ism majroor. So page 16, you can go that if you want to see the details of harfu jar. And we go to the next one, fabashshirhu. So fa is harfu atfin, again is particle for connecting. This means then or so, and bashara yubashiru. So the word used is bashir. So let's see how bashir is formed from bashara. You see here bashir, we're not talking about who here, who is maf'ul bihi, we're talking about the verb. So fa is separate, it's actually three things, for bashir who. So how bashir, the verb, when verb is bashara, so how bashir, it changes to bashir. So is actually fe'lu amrin. So let's see fe'lu amrin on for form 2, bashara yubashiru is form 2, is on page 38. So you see this verb is formed by doubling the second radical fa'ala, and you see in our case is bashara, you double the sheen, then becomes bashara yubashiru, and amr is bashir. So this is the word used, bashir, give good news. He gave good news, he gives good news, give good news. So is fe'lu amrin. So if we go back to the verse, so fabashshirhu, so give good news, who, to him, who is the attached pronoun for huwa, and you can look at the pronouns and attach and detach, I think on page 7. So let's look at that. Yeah, page 7, pronouns. So huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. Third person pronouns, those are the detached forms. Attached is who or he for huwa, and huma, whom or him, ha for hiya, huma, hima for huma, hunna, hinna for hunna. For second person, anta, antum, antum, anti, antum, antunna. And you know that if you are following from the previous lessons, this is for singular, this is for dual, this is for plural. So third person, this table. Second person is this table. Anta, antum, antum, anti, antum, antunna. So for anta, the attached form is ka will be attached to the noun or to the verb. So then otherwise if it comes separately, it's going to be as anta. So this is munfasilun, this is muttasilun, attached, detached. I'm just showing you this whole table, but our word we were looking for is who, which is the attached pronoun for huwa. So means who, him or he or him. So fabashirhu, then give him glad tidings, or give him good news. Good news of what? Good news of forgiveness. Bi magfiratin jar majrur wa ajrin, and when wow is there, so the noun follows the same as what is before wow. So wa ajrin, and so that's why you see magfiratin wa ajrin is following the same. Magfiratin is majrur bil kasrati, and kareemin, kareem is sifa of ajrin, sifa majrura. And so if I show you the verse here, bi magfiratin is tin because of ba here, which is harful jar. Wa ajrin, this in is because of wow, because it's just connecting the two nouns and it should have the same haraka. And kareemin is actually the naat for ajrin. So, and we have that naat manut. We have seen that they follow, the naat follows its manut in its ending, in its if is masculine, if it's be feminine, if it's singular. So you see that is following in all those four situations. Singular, masculine, the ending, and so I think if we go to the detail, we will see actually page 12. Let's go back to page 12. What are those four things? Gender. So page 12 here. Naat wa manut. The adjective in Arabic follows its noun, so we know that naat comes after in Arabic. In English it comes before. So azabun alimun, so naat is coming after the manut, which is the punishment, severe punishment, and the naat agrees to manut in four situations, four things. Gender, if is the manut is muzakkar, naat is going to be muzakkar. If it's going to be muannas, is muannas. Yes, al marifa or nakira. If it's going to be nakira, the naat, if manut is nakira, naat is nakira. If manut is marifa, naat is marifa. Marifa means it has al. Those two things, like the example here, Quranun mubinun is in nakira and this is marifa. The third thing is ending. If it's u ending, a ending, or e, whatever the ending of manut is, the naat gonna have the same ending. And the fourth thing is singular or plural. If the noun is manut, if it's singular, naat is gonna be singular. If it's plural, naat is gonna be plural. So, and we see that in our verse here, ajrin kareemin, 57. So page 57 we have that ajrin kareemin. So it always kareem is the naat for ajr and noble reward. So it's following in all those four situations. So kareem is sifa, or you can say naat, and is majroor because ajr is majroor. So the translation we can say innama tunziru, you can only warn man ittaba, man who ittaba, who follows the zikr, the Quran, the reminder, wa khashiyar rahmana, and fears God, fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful, bil ghaibi, without seeing it, without seeing him, or unseen. Fabashirhu, so whoever does that, then give him good news, bi magfiratin, with the forgiveness and noble reward. So here I have this translation. So that completes verse number 11. In verse number 12, inna nahnu nuhyil mauta wa naktubu ma qaddamu wa asarahum wa kulla shay'in ahsaynahu fi imamin mubinin. So let's look at that. Inna is, I mentioned before, is actually inna plus na. So inna harfu tawkidin wa nasbin, and na is ismu inna. And na is zamirun muttasilun. So this is the pronoun attached to inna. Is actually inna plus na, 3 nouns, but one is omitted. And I just showed you about inna in the previous verse when there was coming as a innama. But innama, there we don't see look for ismu inna, khabru inna. But in this case we look for what is ismu inna and what is khabru inna. So it's na in ismu inna. Indeed we. Nahnu is zamirun munfasilun. Again, page 7, we just looked at the whole table. Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. Nahnu is for we. So that is coming as nahnu. When it is coming as the attached pronoun, then is comes as a na. But here is nahnu because it's detached. Nuhyi is actually the verb ahya or ahyaya yuhyiyu. So it's just like af'ala yuf'ilu, form 4. So and is fail mudare. So failun mudareun marfuun. So because fail mudare has 3 moods: marfu, mansoob or majzoom. So anytime fail mudare comes, we have to explain what is this. If it's marfu, if it is mansoob or majzoom. Here it is marfu because there is no particle which can change this to mansoob or majzoom. And the failuhu nahnu. So let's look at how the nahnu form changes to nuhyi. Page 128, I have the complete table. So you see, let's look at fail mudare. Yuhyi is actually yuhyiyu, but the last haraka is not shown when there is a weak letter here. So yuhyi, huwa yuhyi, huma yuhyiyani, hum yuhyawna, hiya tuhyi, huma tuhyiyani, hunna yuhyina. Anta tuhyi, antuma tuhyiyani, antum tuhyawna, and anti tuhyina, antuma tuhyiyani, antunna tuhyina, ana uhyi, nahnu nuhyi. So when you see nu here, so it means nahnu. So nuhyi. So this is the verb used. So the nahnu is the doer of this verb. So we go back to the verse. Is actually, yeah, this is the verse we were looking at. Nuhyi. So the file is nahnu. We give life. Ahya yuhyi, to give life. We nuhyi, we give life, and is present tense. So indeed we give life. Life to who? So we found the fail, we found the file. Give life to who? Al mauta, the dead, the one who is dead. So that is why you see mauta is actually mansoob bil fatah, but is bil fatah til muqaddara. Muqaddara mean estimated. Is again is the weak ya here, so that is not shown, but is inside, is there. So maf'ul bihi mansoob, and wal jumla nuhyil mauta. So this combination, this whole sentence is coming as the khabar for inna. So indeed we, yeah, I think in the last session I wanted to explain why the pronouns or the nouns, they are repeated just for the emphasis. So here you see there are emphasis upon emphasis upon emphasis. How? So innana, na is we, nahnu is for we, nuhji is also we. So indeed we, we give life. So you can see how much emphasis is on we, which we is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so just like I think I can show you later, but how that gives emphasis. Certainly we, only we give life. So you can only understand the emphasis if you understand the Arabic language. Otherwise simply you will see the translation that certainly we give life, and if you just read the translation you won't see how much emphasis, I mean you can't understand the emphasis. So how important is to learning the language. So then you would only then feel that why so much emphasis was given, because nobody else can give life. So that emphasis has to be there because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who can give life. Similarly, nahnu and naktubu, the next word is naktubu, which comes from kataba yaktubu, to write, and this is 3 letters. So when there is simple 3 letters is form 1, and when there is some addition is done to those 3 letters, then form changes from 2 to onward 3, 4, 5, whatever. We have studied 10 forms in our I mean in the session for the when we studied the rules. So this is form 1. When there is no addition, just simple kataba, fa'ala, like, then it's form 1. Naktubu. So kataba yaktubu, huwa yaktubu, hiya taktubu, anta taktubu, ana aktubu, nahnu naktubu. So I have that I think on page 129. Let me show you that. So huwa yaktubu, huma yaktubani, hum yaktubuna, hiya taktubu, huma taktubani, hunna yaktubna, anta taktubu, antuma taktubani, antum taktubuna, anti taktubina, antuma taktubani, antunna taktubna, ana aktubu, nahnu naktubu. So this is the one we were looking for. Naktubu is for use for pronoun nahnu. So as you see here, naktubu, again we. So we, again going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is royal we. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use sometime I and sometime we, just like we sometime in our language we use we instead of I. So it's called royal we. Naktubu, and we write. Waw is harfu atfin. So and we write. So naktubu fi'lun mudari'un marfu'un. Again is when is mudare, we have to mention if it's marfu, mansub or majzoom, because fi'l mudare has 3 moods, and again here it is marfu, because if it's mansub, how you will know that it is mansub, then it will change to naktuba, and if it's majzoom it will change to naktub. So but here there is no such particle that will make it mansub or majzoom. So this is the regular form use. U, when you see u, this is the marfu form. And we write, naktubu, we write, ma, this means bimani allazi, so ism mawsul. This is on page 9. We on page 9 you will had that that man and ma are also used as ism masul. Man is used for the living things, ma is for non-living things, so is not referring to any living, is any not living thing, is actually used for humans or non-humans. So if I go to page 9, I think I showed you in the last lesson. So man and ma use as relative nouns, meaning who or whatever, used for living things, is actually that have living things mean that have a soul, like humans, jinns, or angels. So is used as man, and ma is used for every other thing. Yeah, so just I wanted to explain, you can't use living thing. If a plant you can say is a living thing, you can't use man for that. So again, man is used for that who everything that has a soul, like humans, jinns, and angels. So here ma is used. So ma is for anything else is ma is used. So verse number 12, we were looking ma kaddamu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying we write whatever. Ma means whatever. Kaddamu. Kaddamu is actually the verb. Kaddama yukaddimu, form 2. Again, form 2, when the middle letter is double, then it becomes in the 3-letter verb, when the middle letter is double, it becomes form 2. So kaddama yukaddimu. So how kaddama changes to kaddamu. Let's go to that table. Yeah, page 38 I have that form. Let's look at page 38 first. So you see kaddama yukaddimu. So fa'ala yufa'ilu, form 2. Amar is kaddim, masdar taqdeemun, muqaddimun ism fa'il, muqaddamun ism maf'ul, kuddima past passive, yukaddamu present passive. So and I have that complete table here. Huwa kaddama, huma kaddama, hum kaddamu. So you see kaddamu comes for hum. So the file is hum. So ma kaddamu, they. Kaddamu, when they kaddamu means they. Kaddamu to send forth. Kaddama yukaddimu, to send forth. Kaddamu, they sent forth, past tense. Fi'lu madin wa fa'iluhu hum. Wa asarihim, and what they sent forth. Wa asarihim, and asar is mudaf. Asarihim, their asar, or their remnants, or whatever is left behind. So is mudaf alayhi combination, and it is explained on page 14. So in what they left behind, wa kulla shay'in. So and waw is harfu atfin, kulla. It should have been kullun, but it is kulla. So why it is kulla? So when you see a noun in a or e, then you just need to look for the reason for that, because it should be kullu shay'in, but it is kulla shay'in, and so that means there is something behind it. So kulla is actually maf'ul bihi, mansubun is nasab, li fail mahzuf. So the fail is omitted here. Yufassirhu ba'dahu. So this is explained what is after. So it's actually ahsayna means this is the verb used. We record it. Ahsaynahu, we recorded. So that means Ahsayna is actually wa ahsayna, and we recorded kulla shay'in, everything. So in other words, there is something omitted, because when maf'ul is coming, so there should be a file, a fail and file, which we don't see here, but is explained after. So we can just say that it is, and this is the style of Arabic, that this is omitted here but is explained here in here, ahsayna. So everything we recorded, so this is referring to ahsayna. And why is not kulla, why is not kullan? Because is coming as a mudaf also, and mudaf cannot have an, in, and cannot have al. So, and if we go to page 14, you will see the rules for mudaf. So let's go through that, page 14. So kullu shay'in actually is following this phrase, possessive phrase, mudaf mudaf alayh. Yeah, so note that mudaf can neither be definite, cannot have al, nor indefinite, cannot be un or an or in. So we don't see in kulla, we don't see al, we don't see un, an or in. So it is wrong to say ashab. For mudaf alayh, the mudaf alayh just can have al or un, an, in, but it always be jar. So no un, no an, only in. So if we go back, so kulla shay'in, you see in like I said many times before, for a noun to be in the jar form is only two reasons. One is it is mudaf alayh, the other one is jar majroor. So when you don't see jar majroor, the only other combination is mudaf alayh. So you see here kulla shay'in is actually mudaf alayh, and kulla is mansoob because it's maf'ul bihi. So shay'in mudaf alayh majroor bil kasrati, so it has a kasra at the end, and we just went through the detail on page 14. Ahsaynahu. So three things are there: the file, the fail, the file, and maf'ul. Aksa yuksi, this is the form for just like af'ala yuf'ilu. Aksa yuksi is actually aksa yuksiyu, but you don't see the ending on the weak letters. So aksa yuksi fe'lu madin wa fa'iluhu nahnu. In page 131, I have the table for that. 131. So you see huwa aksa, huma aksa, hum aksaw, hiya aksat, huma aksata, hunna aksayna. So this na is not the na that we have with nahnu. So I will show you the difference. Aksayta, anta aksaytum, anta aksayta, antuma aksaytuma, antum aksaytum. Anti, I have a mistake here. Akhti, anti akhsaiti, antuma akhsaituma, antunna akhsaitunna, ana akhsaitu, nahnu akhsaina. So you see akhsaina, this is the verb used there. So if we go back, akhsaynahu, so you see here akhsayna, this is the word coming here, akhsayna. So it's actually akhsa plus na. So akhsayna is for the verb form for nahnu. So the its file is failuhu nahnu, and ha wal ha zamirun muttasilun, and is maf'ul bihi, is attached pronoun. So, and we record it. Fi harfu jar, imamin. So fi harfu jar imamin, you see, fi imamin. Imamin is actually a register. So imamin is majroor because of fi. Fi is harfu jar. On page 16 you will see that fi is there in a register. Mubinin, so mubinin again is sifa for imamin. So is what is combination? Naat manut. And I just showed you on page 12 that the naat follows its manut in its ending if is singular, masculine or feminine, or if it's nakira or marifa. So you see here is all those four things. Mubinun is gonna have the same, is following in its manut in all those four areas. So fi imamin mubinin, in a clear, in an open register or a clear register. So indeed we write is actually three we, but I'm just I'm just translating as indeed we write, or you can say indeed we write, like just you can put emphasis there. The dead, the mauta, the dead, sorry, indeed we give life, not right here is here, but indeed we give life to the dead, and we write ma kaddamu, what is left, what they have left, wa asarahum, and what they sent forward, or what they left behind. Wa kulla shay'in, and everything, ahsaynahu, we have recorded, or fi imamin mubinin, in a clear register. So this is my translation here. Give life to dead, we write what they sent forth and what they left behind, and we record it in a clear register. So hope you understood the concepts behind those verses, verse number 11 and 12, and I think I should start the verse number 13 in the next lesson, because there is another story starting from verse number 13, a little story. So I should start that the next time. So I'm gonna stop it here.